Special shout out and congrats to my client family that are closing on this beautiful Westin Homes behind me. But with the success of that home, my people over in Westin said, hey, I got a couple more in the section that I need you to help push. So we're going to be checking out 4 or 5 of their different models that they have over here right now available for moving in within the next 30 days. And they got some crazy, amazing deals right now that I want you to see. That sounds good. Stay tuned. And this one is extra special for a few reasons, because not only is Westin Homes one of my favorite builders in the Houston Metro, but we are in our neighborhood of Meridiana. And so not only did I get some client family for life, but now I also have some family members that are going to be in my neighborhood, and I'm coming to get that plate as I told y'all before y'all closed. So this one is special and this one is unique because what happens in this section of Meridiana on the 50 to 55 foot section for Westin and Highland Homes, another fan favorite on the channel, is this one is special because it is gated. And that is very unique for a home to be this size under that what is considered the estate style sections of like 65, 70, 80, 90 foot wide products. This is a 50 foot product that is in a gated section, which is very unique for the Houston Metro. And so whenever you get an opportunity, I know I get people that hit me up from other places that are just used to whole communities being gated. Houston is not one of those places, but to get something like this, to be around that 3,000-ish square foot range, and to get a luxury community like this that looks this good, that has this kind of pricing, and to still be gated is kind of crazy to see. But now we're going to go and check out this model, and we'll talk about all the stats while we're walking through it. Let me know what you think. And psych, just like that, you got to pivot. So they had people in there changing out fixtures and mopping and just kind of getting it truly ready. And so I told them I apologize, I'll get out their way. Let's go check out another one because we got a bunch of them that we can see in here. And so let's do that. All right. So this one is let's talk about it while we got it. This one is a Ellington plan, and it is right around 3,000 square feet. So you got your office off the front. You got your laundry that connects to your closet. We ain't going through there because we got to get the minutes. Y'all know the vibes. We ain't doing no cut throughs. All right. Standard 2-car garage. Tankless water heater is going to be standard. Formal dining area. Now this is, before I start the yapping, this is one of the critiques that I have for a lot of the 50-foot builders in Houston, especially those like even where I'm at right now with Highland. I love Highland. There's character touches that you get, but it seems like on their 50-foot models, they don't really have a good layout for having a dining room kind of area tucked off to the side. It just doesn't seem like there is a space for it. And one of the reasons why I think a lot of my clients kind of resonate with the Westin model is not only do you get, and we'll get into it a little bit more here in a second, not only do you get this like small breakfast nook, you also get like a formal kind of dining area. So if you want that feel, I know a lot of my clients that are on the younger side, that's sub 50, they're a little bit on the more modern side and they don't necessarily love having a separate space like that. But I am starting to find myself kind of resonating more to having my table not kind of floating in my living room. And so I definitely think that this layout is a little bit more suitable to something that I would appreciate as someone that has a house that is around this size. So you definitely have the spaces that you want. Westin Homes is by far, in my opinion, the best 2-story family home builder. Now we can get into the nuances of, you know, on a 50-foot versus 60-foot for them and other builders. Do you like what their inventory looks like as far as style and all of those things. We can get into the nuance of that, because I do think that there are some things in inventory that other builders do better than Westin, but then there are touches and feels that Westin gives you better than anyone else on their respective floor plan width. So like, for example, on a 50-foot, you have really wide corridors up here, really tall ceilings for most of your family room, living room kind of area. You got the accented rotunda. They usually are gonna give you a fireplace. And it ain't functional. You know, it's gonna just look pretty. It ain't really giving that much heat, but they'll usually give you that. And then it gives you the bones for you to come in here and really make this glam and really do the pretty tile or whatever you're gonna do. It really gives you the space to do it. They usually are going to give you a range hood that has the shroud on it. This is typically a 60 to 70 foot product sort of thing. Most of the 50 footers and under, they'll either give you a microwave if they're being really cheap, but most of them will give you the little peekaboo shroud where you just see this part of it, but they don't give you that full luxury effect to kind of show you how tall your ceilings are. It's just things that they do as a builder that I like. And this is someone that is, again, I am Highland Home biased. I am a card carrying holder member. I tell y'all this in most videos, but there are just things that Westin Homes does better than Highland. And it's usually in this family room thought out design. Now, if you came in my house, and many of y'all who have been here for a while have seen the inside of my house, there is maybe a free flowing feel that feels a little bit more open, a little bit more breezy, because we don't have this structure, right? But as a result of this structure, what are you gonna get? You get a room upstairs. And this is things that I don't have in our house on the same size product line, okay? So there's just touches with it that I just really enjoy. But getting back into the house, these are going to be upgraded finishes. So you're getting your nice quartz. If you were to go to the design center for another builder, this would be like a level 3, level 4 kind of quartz. You're getting oversized backsplash tiles. These are going to be, again, level 3, level 4 or higher. You're getting the full shroud with your range hood. You get the appliances in your cabinetry. That is an upgraded look that most of the builders are going to offer you if you go to the design center. And why I keep referencing other builders is because basically since COVID, Westin has been almost exclusively an inventory only community. My clients that bought the house a couple doors down were able to catch their house early enough to make some small changes. But I was actually one of the last contracts in Houston in the community called Mira Mesa, for those of y'all that are familiar with that one in Cypress, to actually get a full design build. And that house took 13 months to finish. It was a nightmare during COVID. Materials were short, labor shortages. It was a crazy time. And as a result of that, I think they got so much bad press for just having really long lead times on a home that they decided as a company that we're gonna give an elevated look. We're gonna pick really pretty things as a default, but we're gonna go inventory. And I think they've struck a great balance between giving you something that looks really nice, still giving you that glam Westin feel, and being able to, because they are picking a lot of these things in bulk over and over and over again, give you a reduced price. So we're gonna talk about the pricing on this one. And let me see if I still got that sheet. So I think this one was 31. No, this is an Albany plan. So this is an Albany plan. This one was originally listed at $560, and we have it now at $518 for over 3,000 square feet. I can tell you, I know that when we bought over here in the neighborhood, we bought at a little bit of a peak of what this neighborhood was doing. But to get this much square footage with Highland at the time, you're looking every bit of $550, $560, $575 to do that. And so to get this much house for that square footage is, or get that much house for that price per square footage is crazy. All right, let's go check out this outdoor space. All right, so nothing too crazy. This one actually is the same floor plan as what my client family is building out in Brookwater that we're gonna be closing on here in a couple days. And so we have pre-wired for some speakers, it looks like over here, or some cameras, or whatever you want to do, low data. It doesn't look like they gave any gas out here, so that would be a little bit of a drawback for me. That's some of the feedback that I'm going to give my people, Jerry and Tasha and the OG over there, Mr. Will, that you got to just do it. You got to give people the little gas spigot back there, because most people that are going to be wanting to buy these houses are going to want to entertain. It's going to take, a certain type of person that would want to spend the money after the fact to get that kind of a setup, and they might as well just do it, because it ain't going to cost them that much to do it up front. So that would be my notes or my critiques for them that I'm going to give them when I go back and talk to them, because they're part of the fam. They've been taking great care of my people so far, and I want to see them succeed, as well as have a great product for my family turn clients out here in the neighborhood. But yeah, that is, and this one is, getting back to the yard, this one is not super oversized. It's a little bit bigger than the other ones. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little bit bigger than that yard. A lot of people get freaked out in Texas when they see this big sunken in kind of swell. That is by design. The thought process is any water that is up on your house will go down into this swell, and as we get down over here in this low spot, it is kind of soggy and kind of wet. It will eventually go over to this side and meet your neighbor's little swell at the gate line, and then it goes out to the street and getting all that water away from your house. So if you can see it, it's sloping down to the gate here. If you can see it here, it is sloping down to this swell over here. All right, so that is by design. Don't be freaked out. We get a lot of rain here. They have it pretty figured out as far as how to get all of that stuff out of your backyard. But let's go back in the crib and check out some of these bedrooms. All right, now I'm gonna take my shoes off because I was just in some mud and I don't want to be mean to them. Let's go up in this bedroom. It's a pretty nice size. You can definitely fit a king size bed with big bulky furniture. Now this, I will say in my opinion that our bedroom for Highland Homes kind of crushes this a little bit in terms of size. Ours is just much bigger than this, but they make up for it in spaces like this that just absolutely destroy the size of what my bedroom looks like. This is way more, or bathroom, that our bathroom looks like. This is just way more glam size. It feels way more elegant than ours does, in my personal opinion. And that's someone that sells a lot of both of these. They typically win on the footprint of a 50-footer in the bathroom and closet spaces. And so this is a really nice size shower. If you wanted to add a bench, you have that. It's really oversized. It just gives you a way more grand feeling than most people are going to give you on a 50-foot product. And you come through to the closet. And I like doing this honestly without touching any of the lights, just so you can see how much natural light just kind of goes through a home. And just a lot of storage, lots of storage space in here. And then you get the 60-foot plus feature that most people love about the Texas home, is having the laundry close to your closet. So once laundry is done, you go make that first stop right there, drop off all your stuff, and then take the rest in other places. So I think it is definitely a great layout. And then let's just get that view so you can soak that up. And I can just imagine doing some kind of wood accent right there, built in right there. Crazy. All right, taking it on up to the second story. We're gonna have first off, wait a minute. I wouldn't be doing this right if I ain't do it for the peekaboo fam. So we're gonna look over behind me. It's your first peekaboo. Then we got your front door peekaboo, which y'all love. Natural light up high. And then we got the dirty pumas down there chilling. All right. Nice size secondary bedroom. Like all builders, they're going to be wired. Typically, I don't want to say all. They're typically going to be wired for a light and a fan and blocked for a light and a fan. But they'll typically give you 2 fans as an inventory, one in the primary and then one in the family room. Secondary shower combo. Decent sized little closet. And this is going to be your attic space. So if you wanted to build out or do something else in there, or you wanted to just make it storage, they're going to have it decked so you can put your Christmas trees and light storage up there. Another view of the rotunda. Going to be your little game space area. So for us, the Lathan family, this would be classic little Channy school for Rissa and Channy. Playroom, game room, little area. If this was a model home, you would be looking at this as a pool table for sure. I don't know why all the Texas builders do that. And then this is your media room. And it's already, looks like it's pre-wired for speakers. Looks like they gave you data on this wall. A few plugs kind of throughout for different things. Yeah. Pretty good size. And then we have a couple more things down this little wing. So we have another bedroom. That's a pretty good size. With a baby walk-in pantry. Not pantry, walk-in closet. A little bitty baby one. But you still got one. Pretty nice size. I would say this one full size max queen on that one. And then you got another bedroom of equal size, I would say. Again, max queen, but probably like a full size if you wanted to have a lot of other furniture in here. And then the same similar size step in little closet. But yeah, that is the house. Oh, did I show y'all this bathroom? And then you have another full bath, not quite Jack and Jill style, but they're all gonna share this bathroom over here. But yeah, that is an inventory home. So I think these are important to see, because if I'm you and I'm looking at this with the eyes of, if this is me and my family, would I like this house for this price? Yes. Are there things about this house that I don't necessarily love? Yes, right? But are they deal breakers enough to pass up an opportunity to get a 3,000 square foot home that has 4 bedrooms, a game room, and a media space, and an office? Absolutely not, okay? The deals are gonna be hard to beat on a price per square foot basis on inventory. And because Westin has cornered the market and kind of structured themselves to be the inventory luxury company, I think they have a distinct advantage in that standpoint of coming from that perspective. And I love what this house looks like. It's just fire. To me, this house is fire. It gives you baby 60-foot vibes, because again, like I said before, they are, in my opinion, the premier 2-story family home builder in Houston. There are some plans that I like from other builders, but to me, if they have 15 plans, 12 of them are hits to me, because they do the things that people love about 2 stories. Okay, so as a reminder, I believe this is the Albany plan, right around 3,000 square feet, and it was originally at 660, and they got it at 518 currently, and we probably got room on that, to be honest. What I've been able to get from Westin over the last, I'll say, few months has been a combination of right around 20 to 30K, with that being money off the house price, money towards closing costs, or a combination thereof, whatever makes the most sense for you. So we probably got a little bit more room, but with the amount of inventory homes kind of sitting over here, I would imagine that we got more room than even normal. So let's see what we can do, but we got more to see. We got a couple more plans on this street. Jerry said, hey, help your boy out. So that's what we're here to do. Make sure that y'all see it before anybody else. And if they got one that is a deal for y'all, let's make it happen. Now, directly across the street from where we just were, we have another deal on an Ellington plan that is around the same size. This one should have a 3-car garage, so I'm assuming that it's going to be a tandem, so we'll show you what that looks like in a 50-foot section and see if it eats into, you know, any of those spaces that I just said I loved on that one. We'll see what they did to accommodate the square footage for taking up that extra space for that tandem. But this is the Ellington plan. Pricing on this one is going to be a little bit higher than that one. It was originally like $575, somewhere around there, and now we're at like $530. So again, on this one, we're probably gonna have some room to get it, but let's see if y'all like it. Now, already out the gate, I'm gonna tell y'all that I love this. And that kind of entry is a show stopper to me. And it's just like how deep you have this front porch. It's not super common where you have like a super big front porch area. And we can, matter of fact, we can even look across the street. That's a Westin, they don't have it. That's a Westin, they don't have it. That's a Westin, it looks like they have it. That's a Highland, they don't have it. You know, so that's a Highland, they don't have it. And so this feature in itself, just to have this, I'm already thinking about the Mrs. decorations. She got the little faux flowers there. She's got everything she wants, because this feels like a 60-foot wide plan. But it's not, it's a 50. So let's see what they changed on this one. Let's see what we gave up. All right. So Ellington plan, let's see. So quick story about me, quick weird thing about me. This feels like the model home in, the original model home in Sunterra with my guy Charles. Weird thing about me, I have the worst memory, absolute worst memory. I don't want to proclaim that on video. My memory can be shaky sometimes, but I rarely forget models, and I rarely forget people that are in the models. And it's weird. I can see them in a completely different area with a completely different builder and just be like, you were such and such with that model. Weird thing about me. But this one, back to the house, is definitely giving that more 60-foot vibe, because look what it's doing for your office. This is a feature that the Carter gives you, where you have the 2-story office space. And so I think that's pretty cool on a 50-foot product. So we already have that oversized patio. We're gonna lock this one because I don't like people just walking in on me. You got your Christmas tree niche, classic little Western rotunda vibes. Let's go and actually look at this garage. Looks like they have it pre-wired for the alarm, or not the alarm, the garage door, but it is not installed yet. We'll make sure, if you were to get one of these, we'd make sure that we would get you one before we closed. And yeah, so they did take up this extra bay. So for the cars that we have, we would probably be able to fit 2 true of our cars in here with a 3rd car over here. For the people that are unaware, we're on the south side where we get hit with a lot of the heavy wind, and so you have to have storm shutters here. So the builders are going to leave something like this. Highland Homes leaves you a bunch of plywood, which I hate, but Westin gives you this corrugated metal. It's all labeled, and they actually will leave you a card behind in case you want somebody else to install it for you in case a big storm is coming. But again, tankless water heater, 3-car tandem. Okay, now spatially, that is cutting into, on the last plan that we were just in, that should be cutting into the dining area that was right behind the garage. It looks like we have a guest bath or a half bath, which is cool. That means people don't have to come and use the bathroom in your bedrooms. We have a really big laundry. Got a little bit more storage. A lot of storage, ain't a little bit. We got a lot of storage in here. Harry Potter style under the stairs, love that. And then we come into, again, you're getting those same big house vibes. So you get the nice tall windows. I actually like how that looks. That's kind of actually reminding me of the Perry vibes. Perry usually does that kind of a window detailing on their houses. And it looks like family. I was right. So in the old house that we just looked at, if you can remember, there was a dining room that was just kind of juxtaposed catty corner from the kitchen. And it looks like we lost that to gain that extra car bay. Okay, so that's a sacrifice. But let's see if, as a 65-foot builder and bigger, if they have thought of a way to give you that space back. And it looks like, in addition to this kitchen, I love how that looks. I think it's a beautiful combo. It's a little bit more old school with the browns and things, but I like how it all comes together. With the hardware, it looks like this area got bigger. So the informal dining that is tucked off into the corner so it can make it feel a little bit more formal got bigger. So if you remember on the last one, we had a nice big formal dining room over there and a little peekaboo for a little breakfast nook. I would consider this like a true informal dining with how they have this tucked. So again, with them being one of the best 2-story family home builders, it looks as though, again, they have figured out how to best utilize the space, even in a different way. So now, for a family like mine, and don't judge me, I'm out here trying to grow stuff, trying to make my grass look as pretty as my neighbors. Shout out to Marcus if you see this video. I'm out here trying to make my grass look like y'all's, man. Trying not to get embarrassed. And I got a lot of seeds and random soil and random rakes for all this hobbyist stuff that I'm doing, old man vibes that I'm doing now. And we got an inventory that only had a 2-car garage. And so after we put the electric charger on one wall, that kind of takes up basically half of that wall. It's on the same wall as my panel and my sprinkler, so nothing can hang on that wall. We just don't have the storage. And now I'm being forced to look at getting storage sheds and having stuff that's just bulking outside, stuff that I don't necessarily like. On this home, I wouldn't have that problem. So hopefully we will still have the same other spaces. We will still have a separate kind of dining space, which I love. We would have the 3-car garage, which would be perfect to put some of that junk that I have just kind of free floating in my backyard and in my garage right now. We would have that space on something like this. Okay, so it looks like they've thought about it. One more pass on the kitchen. Again, luxury builder, so you got the appliances in the cabinetry. Cabinetry looks really nice, goes all the way up to the top in certain sections. You have the nice shroud over there for your range hood. Pantry is a little bit tight, but that is kind of what to expect on a 50-foot product that you don't customize. Because you ain't really getting no value out of a big pantry. Whereas getting an extra room, that's well worth the money. This is a little bit tighter, but all it would take to change this is honestly a little bit more concrete to get you a little bit more width and a gazebo, and boom. you got something that's real special, because now you got the 2-story ceiling, which I have been loving on their patios as of late. And you would have a little bit more space out here to just kind of cook and do your thing. Again, another thing that I've noticed again, and I got to tell my people, because again, I think this is going to hold them back on future ones, is putting that gas spigot, man. Just do it. Just pre-plumb for it. The money that they would spend up front, the peace of mind that they would give people if they just did it up front, it just makes no sense not to do it. So I'm definitely going to give them that note. Again, swell system going towards the gate, going away from your house. But yeah, super nice. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I do, however, like how this is framed, because it gives you that privacy feel, at least in my opinion. So if we had furniture over here, we had our TV up there, you're not really getting that many people that are looking down into your space, because it looks like they're a 1.5 story, it looks like over there, and then everybody else would be shielded in a 1 story. So it would be a great outdoor entertainment space for me. Then again, we got the fireplace, pretty much a staple with a Westin inventory. Head on over into primary bedroom. Again, not super big. I think our bedroom is bigger than this right now. But when you come into the bathroom, and this one has a more similar layout to what we have, I can tell you that this kind of crushes our bathroom design. Oversized tub, oversized shower, a couple of different vanities, split vanity. I prefer vanities side by side, but hey, can't have it all and be at this price point and this footprint and have it all, right? It is what it is. But from a width standpoint and just what's in this bathroom, it definitely feels much wider than our house is. Head on over into the closet space. So we got a little separated closet. If you did this up and put your own system in it, I'm sure you can make it look super custom and super nice. Secondary part, this one's a little bit smaller. And does it connect to the laundry? Yes, it does. So another 60-foot feature in a 50-foot product, with the closet being connected to the laundry. So yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. So far we got an office and a bedroom down. We have a informal dining, nice size covered patio, 3-car garage on the first floor. Oversized laundry that is connected. But let's go check out this second story and see if they're bringing it on this plan as well. Let's see if we gave up anything again at the expense of that extra car bay. So it looks like we got a bedroom with its own ensuite. So this would be perfect for like my daughter Chandler. This size closet. Looks like they decided to put the cable stuff in her bedroom closet. Almost forgot. For the Peekaboo crew, I'm gonna get shirts made. Peekaboo crew. In the comments, tell me if you like the Peekaboo crew. Tell me if that's worth it. So I'm gonna get some merch. So first Peekaboo, again, you got Peekaboo with the masonry Peekaboo on the outside of your house, so just natural light pulling in. Another Peekaboo, the main Peekaboo for the family room. And we cut on over into this space, and we have a game room. Really nice size. We have a media room. I will say this joint is tight. This one is intimate, but you have it, right? You don't have to convert a space. You don't have to lose a bedroom. You don't have to lose your office. You, in theory, have the space. So they're maximizing it. I know Miss Dana's gonna look at that and be like, man, y'all could have just made this into a closet, but hey, you have the space, okay? What's better than having no media room? It's having a small media room, in my opinion. So we got Jack and Jill bathroom. We have another bedroom up here. Again, queen would probably be pushing it, but full for sure. A little closet. We have the other side of the Jack and Jill, so now we can go ahead and go through it. Pretty nice size bathroom. And we got another pretty good size bedroom over here. So yeah, I like it. There are things, however, that I like more about the house that we were just in, and I think the other house was actually smaller. They just used certain spaces a little bit more different. So like, I think like this catwalk, they give you the peekaboos because they're Westin, but this is a waste of square footage that could have been in this media room that felt a little bit tiny to me. It could have been in this game room and made this feel even bigger. Or could we have moved this wall back and rearranged some of the HVAC to make this space be bigger? These are the questions that you gotta answer, and as a family, you would have to decide whether or not that third car bay is worth it. Because as someone that is in our phase, it's just gonna be me, Chandler, and the Mrs. That's our family unit, little Luna. We don't need certain spaces, but I know that in our everyday life, there's things, bicycles. Now that I'm a garden amateur, an amateur pro gardener, there's stuff that I have that's just kind of free floating in our house. The table being in the middle of our house. There's just things that I like about this, and I like about the other one a little bit more than this one, but I like about these more than I like about our house, okay? So yeah, only you can answer that as your family. Does it give you the spaces that you need? 4 bedrooms, an office, dining nook, game room, media room. Gives you that. Talking about the price one more time. Again, this is the Ellington plan. This one is currently at $535. It was originally listed at $570. And so they've taken a $35K hit on this one. And again, we probably got more room. If I'm being honest, we could probably damn near get them to like close to 5. Now, some of the trade-offs of going with Westin. They are, as we've talked about before, a inventory-only builder. But what I have noticed in the metro with Westin is they are not one that prepay for what a lot of builders are doing right now, which is like a forward commitment to lower your interest rate. So what Westin is basically giving you in reduction in price, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, they're not prepaying for that to lower your interest rate. So the market interest rate is what the market interest rate is going to be whenever you're buying this home. And so you're going to have to be comfortable, depending on what your credit profile is, in the 7s or in the high 6s. Or if you balling, you 800 plus, low 6s, right? You're going to have to deal with whatever that is. There are going to be some other builders that do more for you in that capacity. Highland Homes right now, I think, was offering on certain packages on a forward commitment into the like high 4s, low 5s. I know I've seen David Weekley do a similar thing. Highland Homes in some communities were doing a temporary buy down into a fixed like 4.99. So it just depends on when you buy inventory for other builders and what they're offering, if they've prepaid for those lower interest rates. But Westin is one in my experience that typically just doesn't do that. They'll hook you up with their preferred lender, and you can talk about getting some closing costs to permanently pay down your interest rate. That's a whole nother topic. I don't usually think that if you're paying for the interest rate, I think that's a waste of money, in my opinion. If they're prepaying for an interest rate or a lower forward commitment for you, that's going to be some of the best deals to beat, because the amount of money to get you from base rate, paying it down yourself, is going to be tens and tens of thousands of dollars that you won't get back in the 5-year span that most people are in a home. So it just doesn't make sense mathematically. But if you got a payment that you're trying to stick to, we can have that conversation. We can do the analysis. But they are one of the people that help the least on interest rates. They're going to have you on some of the best prices in any market. But on interest rates, they're going to help some of the least. Okay. So something to keep in mind. We have one more in the 50-foot section that I think we're going to go and check out. And at the end, I want y'all to tell me whether or not y'all are rocking with Westin over here in the gated 50-foot section, and whether or not you want to come be my neighbor. Because again, I'm in the neighborhood. We working out deals. The people know me. Let's get it going. If you want it over here, we need to get you down a little bit more on price. We need to get you a little bit more closing costs. We need to get you anything. We can make that happen over here. And really quick, you've been watching this video for over 30 minutes now, and I just want to be your resource. I literally got you out in my backyard, chilling, looking at all of these houses. You don't even have to leave your house. You're just over there enjoying your snack, eating your popcorn, whatever you're doing, watching this video. And I just want to be that resource to you. There are so many deals, so many builders. One of the gifts and the curses of being in Houston. The gift is that we have a lot of opportunities in a lot of communities. The curse is that we have a lot of opportunities and a lot of places that you can tour. So even if Meridiana isn't the best location for you, if you say, I love a Westin in this size, I can tell you where to go. If you say, I love a Highland at this size, I can tell you where to go. If you say, I love a Newmark at this size, I can tell you where to go. And I want to cut down on some of the driving, because honestly, I've been touring a lot. Love the family. Don't ever stop coming to see me. Don't ever stop booking those tours. I want to tour with you, I promise. But I've been driving a lot, and I don't want you to do that. So I want to make sure that you're not overpaying, that you're getting the best deal that you can possibly get in this market, and I want to be the resource to make sure that you don't overpay. But I'm a little bit hurt today. This is probably like the first time in the last 4 videos that someone hasn't called or texted while I was doing the video. So I'm gonna give y'all a second. Let me see. Let me turn, phone ain't on vibrate or nothing. Like, y'all just not hitting me. I'm dry today. But in all seriousness, the best way to get in touch with me is to actually book a call. It's gonna be the first pinned comment underneath this video. It's gonna say book call. It's gonna have the link. It's gonna take you over to a page. You pick a time that works best for you. If that time doesn't work, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call, and let's see what time works for you. And we can schedule a one-off meeting just to make sure that we're covering your needs and making sure that we're narrowing down that search, because Houston is a massive, massive place. But the only way I can do that is if you hit me up, or if you say, hey, Aaron, I'm one of these people, I'm a free rider, I just want to go check out some stuff. Before you put your name on any contract, make sure that you have told them that Aaron sent you and that Aaron's taking care of you, so they can't take advantage of you and cut you out of some deals that I know about in different parts of the metro. I want to make sure that you get the best deal and that you don't overpay no matter where you are. But without further ado, let's hop back into the video. Now, I think that this one is going to be a great one to look at, because if you were here from the last video, me and my wife walked in their 50-foot model, and it's the Alden plan. And this is what this plan is, but that one's all done up. That one has all the fixtures, all the finishes, all the things that you would go to picking a design center if you had that opportunity. That is a true model home. This is an inventory of that. And so I want you to take a look at this, because this is a great example of what you can get as an inventory home of a model in a community where you know, and you have the inspiration of what you saw, what sparked your interest in wanting this plan in the first place. Let's see what they give you on an inventory and see if it's feeling like a settle with going the inventory route here in the neighborhood. I'm not really the biggest stone guy, but I think that this white chop on this white brick looks beautiful. Love this door. Peekaboo crew, we got another one coming for you. But yeah, just different. Similar use of space, just different. All gonna be around 3,000 square feet. We have another office, so we lose the big 2-story feel of this office. But what does that normally mean for Westin? It normally means that we're probably gonna get a bedroom or a game room or something that's actually useful space up there, because we had to take that L on this space, okay? So wide corridors. We got the laundry room, which cuts through closets. We ain't gonna go in there because we don't cut through. We gotta get these minutes. And we'll talk pricing on this one after we've kind of gone through it a little bit. So 2-car garage, so you lose that space again, right? Tankless water heater standard, storm materials and extra materials for you. So this is the dining space. So this is more formal, it's wide open. So I like this layout because it's just light and airy, not any walls breaking up sight lines. You still have the structure in here to provide a structural area for something above. So if it's just following the patterns of this is framed out to either give us a game room or a media room or something above. So we're gonna have spaces above these spaces that don't go up really high and be functional in a Westin home, okay? And then we got all this natural light. It's looking beautiful. Again, you have your fireplace that is standard, it seems, for Westin over here. You have a really big island. You got your range hood looking beautiful. You got your appliances in the cabinets. A little rustic for me, but you got backsplash that might speak to some. And not me though, brother. Looks like a 4-burner over here. I think the last one was a 4-burner too. I know that they would typically be 5 burners. Your dishwasher. And then we got your little pantry. Okay. So again, giving you the stuff that you need. We got an office. We got laundry, storage. I don't think actually, is this storage or is the bathroom? Yeah, storage. Half bath over here. So we got all the spaces that you'll want. Formal, informal dining over here, giving you space tucked away. Nice sized living room, family room. I love the size of this island. Let's go check this out, see if they did right by us and gave us a gas spigot on this one. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. No, they did not. So again, that is my only gripe that I have so far with them. But knowing what I know, your gas meter is probably like right there in front of the fence. So would it suck to do? Probably not be the most ideal, but you could get a plumber to run you a gas line out here. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but it would just be something that would be nice if they did it for you. In terms of this space, I love the size of this. This is way more than enough space to have your TV. If they did right and have your gas spigot, have your grill over there, have furniture, have a outside dinner table. You don't need a gazebo when you got a house like this, in my opinion. Not a super oversized yard, but it would be enough for a pool. Because you have a back neighbor, your easement is only 7 feet, so it'll be probably to about where that tree is. So everything inside of that tree would basically be space for a pool for you. So you could have something real nice up in here. Real nice. you got that vibe. You come out your back patio, just looking beautiful. All right, come into primary. Again, our house is smaller, but our bedroom is bigger than this. But following the trends of the last house, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna make up for it with a much wider, grander feeling bathroom, which they do. Shower is about time and a half, almost double the size of our shower in our house. And this ain't a rag on my house thing. I just want to give a comparison for a similar sized lot product. Oversized tub, it's a little bit bigger than our tub. Counter space, more counter space in here. It's just a much bigger space for a similar sized lot product. So for many of you that are going to be at this price point, you kind of have to ask yourself whether or not it's worth building and kind of getting some finishes and paying a little bit more of a premium with a Highland or any of these other builders that are going to build on a 50-foot product here, or going with something that gives you good bones like this and becoming your own little project manager and doing your little weekend warrior projects and hiring your own contractors to make it be exactly what you want it to be for the time that you have it. Because the biggest job that you have as a homeowner, for those that don't have the aspirations of being real estate investors and landlords and doing all of that stuff, you are playing the monopoly game. You are playing the appreciation game. Okay, so as this neighborhood builds up, as surrounding Manville, Iowa Colony builds up, as more things come here, you want this house to increase in value at a rate that is proportional to what is happening in the area. Okay, and the ways that you can do that is by, over time, most people stay in the house 5 to 7 years. That means you have 5 to 7 years to make this look like the model home that made you fall in love with this plan, and make it look almost identical to that. Modernize it, you know, change the things that you don't love. So just like how I came in here and was like, I don't quite love that, change that out, you know, change the cabinet colors, make this thing your own. Because one of the first things that someone that tours with a lot of people that look at resale, because resale, for where it is, you can get more bang for your buck. You can get a little bit more house for a little less money. You're going to typically pay a little bit low taxes. But when you come to that time where this is now a resale for the next person, what you're going to hate is, just like I showed you all of these plans in this section that are around 3,000 square feet, the moment you go on the market, and it's happened to me, the moment you go on the market, your neighbor's going to go on the market because they're like, oh shit, it's a good time. It's time to sell. And they're going to compete with you. And the thing that my clients say the most, the things that they notice the most, the ones that love their yard, the ones that had accent walls, the ones that changed the floors, the ones that put up that nice tile on this instead of just leaving it as drywall for 5 years to get ugly and just look dingy, the ones that put some love into it, the ones that did the wainscoting. Anything that you can do to make it look custom to you while you're enjoying it, do it. I promise you're gonna see the dividends of that when it's time to sell, because I can guarantee you, the moment you want to sell, your neighbor's gonna look up and say, oh, so-and-so went for sale down the street. Let's see if we can join in on that rush. It happens 100% of the time. 100% of the time it happens, okay? And you want to make sure that your house is presenting better than theirs. It's a competition at the end of the day. If they feel like they can get more bang for their buck, get a prettier house, you know, get some finishes that they don't have to now come out of pocket with, that you've done and it didn't break the bank for you because you've been spacing it out over time, you're gonna win in a market that is competitive any day of the week, okay? But now let's get back into this beautiful home, classic Westin Rotunda, super big one. Peekaboo crew. Last one of the day, I believe. So we got it off the front door. And we're looking into that living room. There's a natural light up top. Yeah, I'm a fan. All right. So we got some storage right here. Attic that is decked. So you got huge storage space up here. Love that. Full bath inside of this bedroom. So for us, that would make a great Channy bedroom. About the same size closet that she has right now. So that wouldn't be the most ideal for the amount of toys that little girl has. She's spoiled rotten. But that's my little baby. Nice size game room over here. Then we head on into this lovely media space. Now this is a really nice size media space. And if you remember from how the model was, they had some nice size furniture in here. So you can fit a lot in here. Really big sectional, nice size TV or projector if you want to go that route. A lot of plugs everywhere, nice lighting. It doesn't look like they pre-wired for speaker in here, but you need an AV guy. I got an AV guy for you. But yeah, this will be a nice game room, nice classroom for us. Nice little hall bath. So these other bathrooms slash this game room are going to be sharing this bath. I'm not a fan of that. That is, however, a trade-off with some of the Westin inventories. They would rather give you the media space and the office space over a bathroom. I don't know, what metric that they have seen to cut the bathroom spaces down by like a half bath or a full bath in some of their floor plans. That is a critique that I get when I'm often touring with people at certain price points, especially looking in the 60-foot plans. It just feels like sometimes they make a decision to give you a little bit more fun space over a bathroom space. And I don't disagree with it for a family that is like mine, but for some people, if you got guests over, if this is the only bathroom that you have up here, that means that both of these kids and all the people that are having fun in this movie room are basically coming to this bathroom. Unless you're saying to them hey, go into this unused bathroom if this is an empty room, right? So everybody that's basically on this floor are going to be sharing a bathroom on some capacity. And if this was my daughter's room, I wouldn't necessarily love that. If it's a guest room, I wouldn't care as much, but just some of the trade-offs. So again, all the spaces were used differently. They were all around the same size. They were all beautifully done in their own way. There are things that I love about this one, including the natural light. I love the patio size. I love the informal dining size. I love that media space. As someone that doesn't have that now and we had to convert a space into that, I love the media space basically of all of them. But this one, I think may be my favorite just for the size. There's a lot of things that I saw today that I love. And I think that y'all would too. And when you look at some of these prices, we've talked about some that were, $30,000 off, $40,000 off, $50,000 off. That's not uncommon when you go inventory with a builder like Westin Homes, but is it enough for you?